Hello. Hello. I've owned this vehicle for over 20 years. Welcome to Jay's Fab Shop. In this video, we're going to be starting a new series on this 1985 Vauxhall Nova. Show you everything we're starting with and a quick talk through all the things we're going to change and listing out the jobs that we've got to do. So please subscribe. Let's get into this build. The bonnet seems to get stuck. The setup is currently a 2 litre 16 valve Vauxhall red top engine, C20 or 20XC. It has a 6-speed transmission, F28 I believe it was, it's been a long time, which is out of a Cavalier 4x4 turbo. If you're familiar with these bays, you'll see, there's no bulkhead, the coolant header tank's been relocated, Citroen AX wiper motor. We've got a Corsa B servo master cylinder, which is relocated. That was originally down there on the Novas. Breather systems, your usual. For some reason, we have an exhaust manifold missing. I parked this up 10 years ago. It's been in my garden, and I can't remember for the love of me as to why there's no manifold. Some coolant pipes have been taken off as well. Again, I don't know why. I think that was actually a swirl pot off a Fiesta RS Turbo, if I remember rightly. These are actually carbs off an R1 motorbike that when I fitted, I made a custom plenum for them. And the jets, if I remember rightly, I had to drill the jets out from 1.2 to 3 mil, I think. Be able to supply the demand of fuel that the 2 litre asks for over the bike engine. There's a lot of work to do. There was a couple of mice, I think, have lived in here over time, but I've cleared a lot of it out before starting to film. We've got the GTE front end, we've got the Ermisher front end as well. The Nova guys will know that these are saloon front wings. They have been rolled and flared out. We've got Vectra B front brakes, Compomotive wheels, rear Cosworth brakes. I don't know if you can see them well or not. But they're 310mm, so the minimum wheel size that you can get on this vehicle now is 16 inch. That's probably going to change. Moving round to the back, we've got the GTE rear end. Took me about 5 or 6 hours to find the keys for this job. Be sure to hit the roof. So, looking inside, this is what we're starting with. We've got both buckets are still in. The passenger one was removed. I can't remember why now. The cage, this is a perfect example of why we need to redo all this car, because I started working on this as an apprentice in the trade. So a lot of the jobs I've done here, I did for the first time. And a perfect example of that would be the add-on, the harness bar I fitted to the roll cage. Not only did I use tubing which was too big for the roll cage diameter, I didn't weld it very well, so I just covered it with silicone. I mean, it was acceptable all those years ago, but this is all jobs that have got to come out now and get redone and done properly and kind of designed and remade. This is a Sierra rear strut brace that we made brackets for to fit the Nova. That'll probably go black. All inside's got to be painted. We've got quite a lot of surface rust coming there, and at the front's really bad. I don't know if you see it here along that line there. I've got an Ashley 4 to 2-to-1 branch manifold. I've got the harness and the ECU for the standalone ECU setup that's going to go on the throttle bodies when we remove the carbs. I've got a brown dashboard. I may be fitting this, I may not. The old fuel injection setup for when it used to be turboed and it's running a lift pump and a swirl pot. As you can see, the patina, the sun-baked patina is crusty. I think you can definitely say the sun's taken a bit of paint. Moving to the inside. I did build this car 20 years ago and I was 9.5, 10 stone. So this could be challenging. Oh my. Oh, let's get you in. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say some adjustments are going to have to be made in terms of interior layout and in terms of seat positioning. Headroom's okay. It was always tight with a helmet on, if I remember rightly. In here, we've got the 2 Cobra seats. Well, one's Cobra and one's, I can't remember what you used to call that, Cobra, is it or something? You've got the snap-off steering wheel. There's never any door cards. I'm probably going to make some door cards now out of sheet steel and bead roll some lines in and then probably just powder coat them black, like a satin black. We've got the old Cavalier 4x4 6-speed gear shifter because this doesn't like gears. This is a 6-speed, obviously. We've got the old inline fuse setup that I did many years ago and the fantastic welding that I did on those gauges. Again, that was revolutionary. This was like real, like top line stuff 20 years ago. But yeah, got the voltmeter and we've got the oil pressure in PSI. And there's one there, I think that's air fuel ratio maybe. I think I sold that one. This is an adjuster here to up the resistance of the electronic power steering. So this vehicle has got power steering and you can change the resistance on it. If you're kind of like, if you're parking, you can whack it right over and do like a modern power steering, or if you're on track and you want a bit more feedback, you can up the resistance and get that driver feedback that's required. That's the battery cut-off, which runs to the one outside, which is when it was an RAC rally car. And we've got the very, very old and corroded Cav Turbo 4x4 clocks. Now, I have got a video somewhere of this car in Belgium on the racetrack Spa, and the needle was here. It was about there, I think, maybe a little bit further, right past 160 in the clock, 172 mile an hour in the sat nav on the GPS. So I'll probably try and find that footage out for you guys if you want to see it. Just drop a comment below. And yeah, we got loads of unfinished work, just because that's how we used to roll. Ignition barrel was put there, horn. I've noticed one strange thing that I never noticed before. The steering column seems at quite a diagonal, so I don't like that. But I can't pull it straight because then it'll be pushing it into the centre of the car, so I need to move it over then straight. So there's quite a lot of modifications to do to this. So let's try and get out. Okay. I feel like Jeremy Clarkson. Have you ever seen that clip of Jeremy Clarkson when he's trying to get in a Lamborghini and someone's filming him and he's like, "Oh, just look over there." I feel like a fat old man, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. A lot of sheet metal work has put you up here. Cut a long story short, I've owned this vehicle for over 20 years. 10 years of it, I tracked and raced this car. And then 10 years, it's just sat in the garden. So I've wrote the jobs on the wall. So today, we're doing the walk around, making a plan. That's ticked off. Next video will be getting the engine running. Then we've got the brakes and clutch, get those working. Well, then we're going to try and first drive it. I'm going to strip the R1 carbs off and the R1 fuel pump and the manifold, dizzy, ignition module, everything. That is going to be removed and sold as a job lot. So that'll be another video, and then clean it all off and get it on the road. I rebuilt this engine 10 plus years ago. And it's done, I think it's a recorded 7 or 8 miles since to the MOT station and back when I parked it up. It's pretty much brand new, although it has sat for 10 years. I'm going to get it running first with these carbs on, then they've got to be removed and then sold on, and then I've got to fit throttle bodies. Then we've got to get it running on the throttle bodies. And then we're going to probably be taking the engine out. Got loads of engine work to do in the bay. I'm probably going to then maybe move that engine on because I've got my old C20 LET 2-litre turbo engine that is most likely going to end up back in here. I might get it on the road throttle bodied first for this summer while I finish off other work. But generally, I think that we're most likely be swapping out to the turbo engine at some point. Please subscribe, it means a lot and it does help the channel grow. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.